WPCA. Today is Monday, August 17th, 2020. We're in City Hall Auditorium. And before we begin this meeting, could we stand and pledge the flag? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right, jumping right in, item number 1, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held August 3rd, 2020. I'll move it. Second. Thank you, Councilwoman Roulette, seconded by Councilman Oliver. Questions or comments on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2, I'll entertain a motion to approve the explanatory text for the referendum to be held on November 3rd, 2020, previously tabled on August 3rd of 2020. So moved. Thank you, Councilman Wagner.
Second.
And seconded by Councilman Oliver. And I believe what was sent to you was a revision based on the feedback that was provided at the time of the discussion. So reference to the maintenance costs was eliminated. So this is an explanatory text that strictly addresses new construction. Any reference to the percentage of the state reimbursement was deleted, and instead just the estimated anticipated state reimbursement. This number, as you know, was based on the information provided to the council by the Board of Education. Other than that, I think this reflects what the discussion was at the last meeting. Questions?
Just one. In the text here, there's option A and B. Says the same thing. Number 6.
Number 6.
Because the paper that we have is two-sided and sort of is the marriage of both of those. Is that what we're voting on? The marriage, this one in front of us?
Yes. So this is the only, there's only one. The explanatory text is a 2-page document, page 1, page 2. And this, again, reflecting the conversation at the last council meeting, on page 2 of this explanatory text, you see that the mill rate impact was incorporated into this.
So we just kind of combined the two. We got rid of the other stuff. I mean, this is a better one. I mean, it's great to have the polling places in there on top of the information. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries. Thank you. Item 3, I'll entertain a motion acting herein as the Water Pollution Control Authority to approve a payment on number 490 in the amount of $4,380 to Wright Pierce for the NASSCO staff training.
So moved, Waldron.
Second, Rubino.
And seconded by Rubino. Are there questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 4, acting here as Water Pollution Control Authority, I'll entertain a motion to refer to the Planning and Zoning Commission for Section 824 review, the proposed Putter Lane sanitary sewer extension. Thank you, Councilwoman. Second one, and a second by Councilwoman Wagner. Are there questions on this motion?
Just one, Mayor. This is Councilman Rubino. This is a question for Paul. The extension is just for one house only. Is that what we're talking?
Yes, that's correct. There is a possibility that it could be for a second one, but we haven't had any response from that other property. So it's for one because of a failing septic system and no alternate methods of putting a new septic on the property.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? Hearing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? Aye. Any
Aye.
Aye.
motion carries. Item 5, I'll entertain a motion to accept the recommendation of the fleet manager and purchase committee to purchase the 2021 Chevy Colorado from Northwest Hills Automotive of Torrington, Connecticut for the sum of $24,970.80 to be funded from the vehicle replacement account not to exceed $30,000. Correct. I'll move it. Thank you, Councilwoman Lewis. Second. Right. Thank you. Seconded by Councilwoman Wagner. Are there questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, I'll entertain a motion to accept the Coleman Memorial Park budget approved by the Park and Rec Commission on March 4th, 2020.
So moved, Waldron.
Thank you, Councilman Waldman.
Second, Oliver.
Thank you, Councilman Oliver. We have a motion and a second. Are there questions on the budget? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 7, I would entertain a motion to accept the comptroller's request for budget modifications for fiscal year 2021, 2020/2021, described in her memo dated August 11, 2020.
So moved, Oliver.
Thank you, Councilman Oliver. Second, and second by Councilwoman Wagner. And are there questions? These, I'll just put it out there first. These are the additional reductions. As you will recall, when the council approved the adoption of the budget, the charge back to me was to find the additional $660,848 necessary to get us to that budget adopted number, which I don't have. What is that final line? We don't need that. I know. It's on the website. I'll look it up. No, that's all right. Are there questions on any of these reductions?
No.
No. No. All right. Questions to the doors, Mr. Rubino or Mr. Walker?
None, Mayor.
Okay. Then we'll call the motion. All in favor? Aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you, Alice. I have to give credit where credit is due. Alice, just keep sharpening that pencil and helping us find where we need to be at the end of this week. The least amount of damage as possible. So thank you, Alice. Item 8, it's written here as discussion. It's less discussion and more just an acceptance of the report. So what I would be looking for is a motion to accept the 2019/2020 projects report.
So moved, Oliver.
Thank you, Councilman Walker. Seconded by Councilwoman Wagner. Floor is open. Are there questions on the report? I think it's pretty straightforward. We just felt it was important, not only for this council to get an eyeball on what's been expended and how those bonded funds are being used, but also in this public way as a record, so that when we go forward with our next round of funding and we go through the looking at the president's this, we go through that official statement and that whole Q&A, that we can say yes, we, then reporting back to the respective boards. So sort of a process for us. So I have a motion and a second. If there are no questions, I'll call the motion. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And
Aye.
this motion carries. Thank you. Item 9. Entertain a motion to accept the recommendation for the remedial contractor I think it's remediation contractor, GVA, to award bid number FBR 039072020, Franklin Street Brownfield remediation to Red Technologies of Bloomfield, Connecticut, in the amount of $268,742, funded from the DECB Grant Fund Project number 2014143,006. Do I have a motion? Thank you, Councilwoman-elect. Second, and second by Councilwoman-elect. The floor is, before you open the floor, I know Rista is on the phone. I wasn't sure if Rista, there was anything you wanted to add before.
If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Just we are still pending DECD and CHRO approval, but they've given me their verbal go-ahead that there's no problems with this contractor. This is also the same contractor we use with the same grant funds to remove the stockpiles on the property. So they have done work on this site under this grant, so I don't expect anything to come back at us.
Thank you, Rista. Questions? None. Thank you, Rista, for all your work on it. Yeah. And I think the only thing that I would add, and well, we still have Rista on unmuted. The grant funds that are covering these costs, this council will reform for part of that $1 million grant awarded to the city in 2014 from DECB for the purposes of cleaning up. We've expended some of those funds. We have maybe about $780,000 left.
Exactly.
And then, so as you can see, the amount that this bid came in at $268,742 is significantly below the $700,000 we have available. So there's plenty of room in there should we find that once they start digging in the ground, there's something that we didn't anticipate. We feel comfortable that this is well within any of the funds that are available to make sure that we're delivering a clean site. So that's especially important to see on the record. All right, if there are no questions, I will call the motion. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 10, I'll entertain a motion to accept Corporation Council's recommendation and authorize the mayor pursuant to CGS Section 12-179 to release the liens described in Attorney
So
Michelle's.
moved, Waldron.
Thank you, Councilman Waldron. Second. Second by Councilwoman Wagner. I know everybody's laughing. It's familiar with Waldron getting in there and saying a second or two. If there are no questions, questions on the memo? No. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 11, I'll entertain a motion to accept the recommendation of the tax collector and authorize the tax refunds indicated and list dated August 17, 2020.
So moved, Waldron.
Second, Oliver.
Motion by Councilman Waldron, second by Councilman Oliver. Questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 12.
Aye.
Item 12, acting herein as the WPCA, I'll entertain a motion to accept the recommendation of the tax collector and authorize the sewer usage refunds indicated on the list dated August 17, 2020. I heard Councilwoman Roulette. Second. Thank you. Seconded by Councilwoman Wagner. Are there questions on this motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 13, I'll entertain a motion to consider business by department heads.
So moved, Waldron.
Second, Rubino.
Right, I heard Councilman Waldron and Councilman Levino. All in favor? Aye.
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 We are open. I want to open this to Rissa, who's still on the phone with us. Rissa, I did provide a copy of your quarterly report to the council members. Did you want to, was there anything you wanted to add or talk a little bit about, brag a little bit about?
Well, I just wanted to, I think you can see by the list I have here, again, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, but we are extremely busy. We do have a lot of projects that are still moving forward and talking with different developers and businesses that do want to move into Torrington, even though we are in the middle of a pandemic. Our economic recovery and our community recovery, we've really tagged the Survive and Thrive recovery plans. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're just trying to build collaboration. We're trying to make ourselves a stronger community in ways that we weren't before, and using this as a reason to help each other. And we've seen a lot of collaboration, a lot of good work going out from that. And we continue to keep building on those collaborations and reaching out to the community and identifying what those unmet needs are in the community. So, as councilmen and women, if you are out in the community and you hear people that need something, we did develop a easy email address. It's torringtonthrives@torringtonct.org. Please feel free to share that and have them contact me if there's any questions that come up. We still have several grants that we're administering. You can read about them, and if you have any questions, please, I'm here to answer them or elaborate on anything that you would like some more details on.
Okay, thank you, Rissa. Questions or anything?
No questions, just praise. That's a lot of hard work, Rissa. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's having a lot of fun. That didn't look like fun.
It is fun.
I tell you, our days they go by fast.
Yep.
And we're chasing after each other. Like, I just need 5 minutes. I just need 5 minutes. I have to give her a lot of credit. She's
For even developing the real estate packet. I think all of those things are so important. And this is just one thing that doesn't seem large, that it's huge. I remember when we were buying our house 12 years ago and we had to search for information. So this is huge. So thank you.
Great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, department heads. We still have Paul on the line. Paul, is he still on? Yep, he is. Anything else you want to add this evening, Paul? Oh, did he just say no? Just left. He just wanted to hear what Rissa had to say. Ed Towsey is on the line. Ed, was there anything you wanted to add this evening? No, he's not. And we've unmuted you. Was there anything that you needed to add this evening? Technical difficulties. Thumbs up. You don't need to add anything?
The best speech you can hear.
Nah. If you can hear us, you look good.
Go like this, Ed.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
There it is. Okay. All right. I'm not sure if we have any other department heads, but anything from the city clerk's office?
Carol's obviously not here right now. She's taking a much needed vacation. She was working late every night last week and into the weekend with the election, with the primary. So taking a much needed time off. I'm sure you need it too. Yeah.
Yeah. The city clerk and the registrar's office were crazy last week. Corporation counsel, anything?
No, thank you, Greg.
How about treasurer, anything? No? Alice, look, I didn't forget you.
Isn't that something? In this crowd.
So you can't hide. Yeah. All right, then we'll move right into item 14. I'll entertain a motion to consider business by the mayor and members.
So
Thank you, Councilman Oliver. Second, and second by Councilwoman Rouette. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so starting from my left, Councilman Oliver, anything?
just more of a comment than anything. We had that prolonged power outage after the storm, and while many Torrington residents voiced their frustration with the power outage, I do want to commend Torrington's response to the storm. I think it was still raining, things are still flying, there's cows going by, there's people on a bicycle going by, and our crew is on the ground, they're doing everything they could. Could not have been more proud of what Torrington did, like in real time.
Exactly.
And that is what, that's the example that Eversource should follow instead of what they did or didn't do. So hats off to everybody in Torrington who jumped on and jumped in just for all of us. But Eversource seriously has some work to do, to say the least. And it's ironic to me that we're still having the same problems in my neighborhood that I had 20 years ago when it comes to time. So when they talk about the progress they've made on the grid, they're full of you-know-what, because there's no way that problem would continue. The exact same problem for over 20 years. So anyways, hats off to everybody in Torrington for doing what they did. They did an amazing job. So very proud of them.
Well
That's
said.
what I got.
Wow, thank you. Councilwoman Wright. Councilwoman Ryder.
Just to repeat what David said exactly, the response was right on target. And Mayor, thank you for your post, regardless of having power or not.
Yes.
You were the greatest leader for this, so thank you very much for that. And also kudos to everyone who's been volunteering with the Public Delivery. It's been amazing. I've been able to volunteer with that, and people are so grateful for that. So our fire department, I know, was very active in activating serving Red Cross. So again, Torrington stands out as a shining star.
Very great. Councilman Waldron.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm back.
No neck brace.
Yeah, no neck brace. It's gone now. So I'm doing very well. I finished my physical therapy and I just started driving this weekend. So it's an adventure every time I drive because it's kind of hard to turn, you know, but I'm getting better, and thanks to everybody. And I should be at, I think I can get to the next meeting in person. So thanks. And hey, Mayor, great job with the power outages in town. You were there for everybody.
Thank you. Councilman Rubino.
Same thing. Kudos to all during the power outage. And Paul, great job on the road outside my house. Did a great job paving. Coach Yola. Now I told you the next step is to have the police department there doing speed checks because they just increased their speed by 15 to 20 miles per hour. Nothing else, Mayor.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think somebody delivered donuts. They were so appreciative of that road. So to me, quick updates on a few things. On Wednesday, August 19th, it is the 65th anniversary of the 1955 flood. So we are doing just a little gathering to commemorate that historic event in Torrington at 10:30 at the bridge on the library side. When that bridge work was being done, there was a plaque that was placed on the bridge here in 1958. That was taken off when we redid the bridge. We have that plaque. We had it a little bit refurbished. So we're just going to rededicate and acknowledge those lives that were lost and this incredible passage of time, 65 years. Number two, the response to the storm. I can't say it any better than Councilwoman Oliver did. I will say that Tuesday evening, it was the wake for Board of Safety member Bob McCordy, thank you. And despite the fact that there was this incredible raging wind out there and rain, there was a tremendous turnout for that wake. When I left the wake, I went to the Emergency Operations Center just to monitor what was going on with the storm, and I had an opportunity to see what happens behind the scenes. You get a picture out there in the trenches when you see our fire department, our police department, and our street department at work, but our dispatchers that are taking those calls, and they were coming in, rapid fire, The information is put up on a board, it's prioritized, it's radioed out to the respective departments, who needs to respond, how do they need to respond, and then they bring that information back. It was just an incredible, well-orchestrated, well-oiled machine. From the EOC, I was there until about 7:30 when the winds were finally starting to diminish. And I took a quick ride down to the street department because I wanted to just get a chance to say something to the guys. And they were just coming in soaking wet. It was cold at that point. They were tired, they were hungry. And I can tell you, it just reminded me how incredible all of our departments are. Sometimes it's those high profile, you know, it's the red truck or it's the black and white car. People forget those orange trucks are just as responsive, just as incredibly responsible. And it was very reassuring to me that our tax dollars are being well spent. I believe I sent to the board members last Friday confirmation that I received from the Connecticut Siting Council with regard to the Verigy solar array proposal on East Pearl Road in Torrington. Just a reminder to this council that that is the state level approval. Verigy has not reached out to me as of yet, but it is my understanding that part of their proposal included a request for tax abatement and power purchase agreements. So there is a strong likelihood that this will come back to this board. There will be another opportunity for this board to weigh in as to whether or not this is a project that is going to be supported by the municipality. So the state's blessing is not the final say on this. In regard to the storm, some of the neighborhoods, because they were out of power for such a long time, we're going to be working on a debriefing of where those unexpected concerns were. You know, when you have Rock Creek Lane, worrying about grinder pumps that weren't functioning, you know, so our plan is to, all of that has been documented, the calls that were coming into us for assistance, for help, you know, what are the best practices, what can we improve upon. So we're going to be doing a debrief, and then we're going to be reaching out to any of those neighborhoods that need some assistance, you know, help. There's a whole Red Cross initiative called Help Yourself. So a part of that is education piece, but also trying to identify, to Councilman Oliver's point, why is it 20 years later we're still having the same problem with the same areas and power outages?
The exact same time frame. I mean, it's amazing. So I don't know if there are other grids or other areas of the city that have prolonged the outages. I mean, we were out 7 days easily. So everyone around us had power, and all of our power is underground. So something above ground didn't get switched or whatever, or repaired.
And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to identify that so that when we go to Eversource,
They are a force.
They are a force to be reckoned with. That we can bring forward recommendations for how they can improve, aside from the fact that they should have been more responsive. Don't respond to us 24 hours after the event. Respond to us and prepare 24 hours in advance. Don't have a liaison on the telephone, have a liaison in the EOC with us. So those are the things that we need to bring forward to Eversource and make sure that that we will always be able to provide the best services to the citizens of Torrington.
And that will reassure those who were most affected as well, that we're there in their corner for them. So I think that's important.
It's so important for us to do that and listen and then respond in kind. But I think it's important for people to understand that there might be some infrastructure issues that have not been either uncovered, discovered, or even remedied over time. And that little information will, at minimum, help level set the expectations moving forward. A little education goes a long way, at least to temper.
Absolutely. Yeah. Admittedly, my power went out again yesterday at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it came back on at about 11 o'clock last night. I was losing my sense of humor about it, but it's every storm presents a different set of concerns. But with every storm and every response, we learn more about our neighborhoods. And it's an opportunity to, as Councilwoman Wagner suggested, to build that. And have been meeting with our school administrative team to talk about what their plans are moving forward with reopening the schools. Some of the information that was written in the newspaper is correct, some of it was not correct. I can assure you that I have a very high level of confidence that this administrative team is doing an incredible job trying to make everybody as comfortable as they can be and as confident as they can be in bringing their children into the schools. And that goes to the teachers as well as all of the support staff. Tomorrow at the Board of Finance meeting, Superintendent Levonsky, Business Director, and Aaron and Fiona Capianca, Board Chair, will be doing a presentation to the Board of Finance about what the projected costs will be for reopening our schools. And it isn't for the faint of heart. We are looking at somewhere between $2 million and $2.7 million to reopen our schools. Obviously, we're making sure that we're keeping very good track of that and the analysis to say this, because recapturing, recovering, and getting reimbursements to the extent that we can from the state is the primary goal. But what we know is the students' safety and health is the primary concern. We are exceedingly fortunate that over the years, through a tremendous amount of hard work, through this council, through the Board of Finance, through Alice's office, that our fund balance is healthy enough that we can, if we must, sustain this $2 million expense. The goal is to make sure we get reimbursed for it, but I don't want anybody on this board or Board of Finance or Board of Education questioning our priorities. Our priorities are the health and safety of the students, and whatever that costs, we're prepared to make sure that that moves forward. Again, credit to the superintendent, because they are being very fiscally responsible with this. And their presentation, I think, is well worth tuning into if you have a chance tomorrow night. I think that is all that I have. And if there is no further business or questions from the board, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Sure. Thank you, Ms. Seconder, seconded by Councilwoman Wagner. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all.